mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what? Yeah. You know I be on a what? Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what? Yeah. It's all hard, ain't no fear here. You ain't giving this at all, you steer clear. Never beat, I've been down and I reappear. You got some money on the line, you better put it here. Rolling in and doing that work. Check priorities, I'm doing that first. Checks big and I'm sure that hurts, but it's checkmate, we ain't selling short, no to work. Ain't nowhere to hide, you ain't gotta see me come and keep me on your mind, cause I be on the work.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Dane from NYYU. We'd like to welcome you to the Farm Report. And we have a stranger with us. Los, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. Busy, tired, all of that.
Well, it's glad to see you back. I've missed your cute face, I think.
Oh my God. Don't pay no mind to this guy.
I won't. All right. So first thing, we got the trade deadline's coming, and everybody's talking about which prospects are going to be here, which prospects are going to be moved, that kind of stuff. You know, we don't know names, but we have an idea what the Yankees are going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, first, the big news. Your son's coming back.
Oh, yeah. So it pretty much right on schedule, like what I said, right? I thought it was going to be the end of August, and it looks like that's pretty much on target as to when he's going to return. Was it Boone that said it? I know it was Brian Hope reported that he was going to be starting AAA rehab soon. I don't think he gave a timeline or a date when exactly that was going to happen.
He said by this weekend.
Oh, okay.
So quick. So he could be back first, like the third week of August, probably.
The Yankees need him back badly. Because they're not getting any production in the left field once again. Back to that
nightmare.
Definitely. Like I said, I was telling Pete earlier today. I was like, he can't get back soon enough. It's just been atrocious out there.
It's been a nightmare. Verdugo's literally been one of the worst hitters in Major League Baseball for the last month.
It seems like the Yankees have a couple guys in the lineup like that.
Gee, you think? DJ LeMahieu being one of them. What are they going to do there besides launch him to the center of the sun?
Bro, you know it's the Yankees, man. They're going to try to squeeze every bit of juice out of there. Whatever it is, they're paying him $15 million a year, no matter how bad it gets. I just can't see the Yankees doing much but just grinning and taking a bite out of that shit sandwich.
Grab an ankle.
It's the MO of this front office. You know, no matter how bad. I think as we get closer to the end of the deal, maybe we could talk about that. But I think it's another 2 years left on that contract.
Yeah, there's about 34 million left.
When he got that deal, I was like, yo, what the hell, man? Just give him the money. Give him the money. Haven't we been through this before?
Dude, if they would give him a 4-year deal, this would have been the last year of it. And the contract. Right. Instead, they had to stretch it out to 6 years because Cashman thought he was a genius. And now so we know they need infield help.
Mm-hmm.
Gleyber Torres is probably on his way out of town, it sounds like, according to some of the people I've talked to.
I believe when I see it.
Nestor sounds like he might be on the way out of town, and I know
how I felt about Nestor. You know how I felt about Nestor for over 2 years already. So I'm not going down that road again. You know exactly how I feel about him. They should, they polished the turd, increase his value. They should have cashed in, but nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
So
I always thought he was too gimmicky, and I don't know. I thought they should have moved on from him a long time ago.
I agree with you 100%. Now, if you could go out and target a couple players, who would they be?
Well, before I get to that, let me just make one point because I didn't get to make this point before. It's regarding the draft. I really wanted them to draft Tommy White.
There isn't a legitimate
third base. Yeah, I saw he signed today. Yeah, there isn't a legitimate third base in the system, and I'm just like, could you please get him? Like I know we've been talking in a text group. I know Nick is really high on Ben Hess, And I'm just like, you need infield depth. You don't
Yeah.
have it in the system. Why not? Why not get Tommy White, who was available there?
I think he wanted an overslot deal, and they were trying to chase pitching. It's the only thing that makes sense. I mean,
My thing with Hess is yes, he looks like he might have the skills, he might have the mold that
uh-huh.
Breen and company want. But my thing with him is he's got so many injuries before the age of 23. I think even one of them was a back injury.
He's got a fractured back.
Yeah, I don't understand the move. I don't understand the move. Then again, this is the first year that I'm actually paying attention to the draft. So it was a little disappointing for me.
Now, I was a big fan of the Bryce Cunningham pick. I think
The Bryce
that
pick I like,
can,
yes.
yeah, I think that he can be Drew Thorpe-esque. That changeup has a 50 something
He
swing
signed
and
today,
miss
by the
rate.
way. He signed today.
Yeah, he did. Um, the Zeal kid they got out of Old Miss, he was supposed to be their Friday night starter
Is he from
on.
Miami?
No, that's the sixth round pick. The kid they
Oh.
got in the 15th round that was just coming off Tommy John surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Xavier, whatever that last name is. I'm still trying to remember names. I'm not best with names, but he
Rivas.
could, yeah, Revis. Yeah, I think he was probably one of the best picks in the draft because he's left-handed. They think that there's 3 to 4 miles an hour of velocity there that they can get. And if you can get him, I mean, that's a second, third round talent that you get in the towards the end of the draft. That's a pretty good pick.
Yeah, I mean,
So
there's a couple guys that I did like, and I just can't wait to see where they report, and hopefully we get to interview some of these guys.
absolutely. And one other thing, I keep telling people this. I know they drafted pitchers, but you can't judge the pitcher on what they are right now. You have to wait until they go through the program at the gas station, the motion capture suits, the strength training, the velocity training, when they reshape the pitches. And Cade Smith is a perfect example. Wasn't excited about that pick last year when they drafted him. And look what he's been this year.
Yeah, I think they're more so drafted towards skill set of the pitcher, right? What he
Right.
throws, the velocity, and all that. They weren't too concerned with the results, as is apparent, because I posted something about some of these guys today, and a lot of people, and there was a few comments about the numbers, but like I said, they weren't too concerned about the results. They were more concerned about the skill set of that pitcher and what he brought to the table.
Yeah. And it's a type that they know that they can draft, develop, and mold and improve. All those pitchers shared similar traits with velocity and kind of struggle with command. And we've seen them shape those guys, Chase Hampton being another one that they can improve. I think that we're going to have some kids from this draft class when we look back in 2 years and go, how did he get to that round? But moving into the trade deadline, you have 2 or 3 moves you're going to make to go get players. Who would you target?
I don't know if I'm looking at anybody particularly because I'm just of the mindset that I don't think the Yankees are going to be able to solve whatever problems it is that they're having through the trade deadline.
Okay.
I mean, there's people that are coming back from the IL. You're going to have Jason Dominguez coming back, who should be plugged in to play left field every single damn day. Period.
Absolutely.
You're going to have F. Ross coming back pretty soon. You have Clark Schmidt coming back as well. Those are 3 guys that are going to be on the roster playing every day, or in Schmidt's case, pitching every 5th day. F. Ross should get regular burn out of the bullpen. So what exactly are we looking for? I know you need a corner infielder, but for me, I don't think the Yankees have the stomach to trade like a Spencer Jones. I don't think they have the stomach to do that.
I don't know. The guy that I want is not going to cost Spencer Jones, and that's
Who's that?
Luis Renjifo.
What's the cost for that?
I, I think Will Warren and Everson Pereira gets that deal done.
I mean, do they want a guy who's injured
They
and
need
has
outfield. They need outfield help. They need
right? But
prospects.
that help only comes if the guy's on the field.
Well, he would be next year.
I mean, we've seen this mo from Everson. I like Everson, but he's just got an injury bug that he just can't shake for some reason, and I know he's still 22. I still am not ready to just cast him aside. But yeah, I mean, I know that some of these trades they're gonna hurt. If you want somebody of value, the trade is probably gonna hurt.
Well, see, for me, Renhefo solves two problems. He solves the leadoff problem because he's a switch hitter. He hits the leadoff. Batting average is over 300. He's got 20 something stolen bases before he got hurt. And just to let everybody know, he came off the IL today and he's supposed to start playing today or tomorrow. So he's back to being healthy. So we're going to get a little preview of him before the deadline. And while the metrics aren't great at third base, they're better than what we have there now.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be the guy that I would go get. You hit him lead off. You have Juan Soto batting second. You have Aaron Judge batting third. You have Jason Dominguez batting fourth. You have Giancarlo Stanton batting fifth. You have Austin Wells batting sixth. Anthony Volpe batting seventh. Ben Rice batting eighth. And the other guy that I want up, Jorbit Vivas.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I was pretty annoyed that they called him up. What was it, last week, I want to say? And he just watched the game from the bench for 3 straight days, and then he got sent right back down. And this is in the middle of him being in a hot streak. So I just he's got to watch DJ LeMahieu take the field, Gleyber Torres take the field, and meanwhile he's over here down in AAA hitting pretty much every single day. It's just frustrating, man. I don't understand why this front office just doesn't understand. You were given a perfect blueprint handed down to you from Stick Michael to Bubba Watson and Cashman. You inherited a blueprint. You build a core, and then you build around them. And it seems like Cashman's MO has basically, for a while or early on, it was let me find all stars and just plug in all stars. And then it was just like the farm system went to shit.
Oh, it did horribly. It was ass for 10 years, 15 years. It was
Yeah,
just shit.
It was completely just ignored. Um, it's almost it was showing up for a while, right? Because you had no one in the system to call up.
Right.
Guys may shine for a day or two when they came up, but after that, they were pretty much exposed. The development just wasn't there.
Yeah. But you've seen them start to use that farm system a little more. We've seen Anthony
right now,
Yeah.
No, I'm getting that now. Yes.
Yeah.
But even still now, I don't think that now they're showing enough confidence in some of these guys. Like I thought Will Warner should have been called up and got his burn through the bullpen.
Absolutely.
Beater as well. I know he's hurt now, but he at the time when he wasn't hurt, Jack Neely should already be up in my opinion. And I think I've said this to you before. I even told Nick, if Eric Reiselman was in any organization, he probably would have been called up as well.
He should be up. He and Jack Neely should be up in that bullpen. They both have dynamic stuff. Reiselman looks like he's going to be an absolutely lights out reliever, maybe even a setup closer type. And he's just got nasty stuff. You put a video out of him a week ago or so, within the last week.
I put up a few of them, 3-4 strikeouts. I think I tweeted out the other day that Reiselman just breathes and he strikes out 3 guys.
Yeah. And they could certainly use that in the bullpen. It's an option for later this year or next year, hopefully. But do you go get a left-hand reliever?
For me, it depends on what the cost is. What is it? What is that going to cost me? Am I going to get another Victor Gonzalez? What is the cost? Like I'm very worried about these players or these pitchers that Cashman brings in. I'm going to ask you now. When was the last time Cashman traded for a pitcher that um that performed?
Starter or reliever?
The starter, let's say, for example.
That's when.
Is your mic on? Is your mic on?
Yeah. That's
I
when.
Mean, the Clay Holmes things worked out for them. Regardless of how many times he makes it a little exciting in the ninth inning, that has worked out for them. I think every single player that they traded for last year got hurt, which is absolutely incredible. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. And
except the year before when Montas and
I'm still confused as to how the hell you traded for a guy for Montas when he was hurt or just coming off of the injury. I did not understand that at all. But that was the year before. Again, I just, if I'm being honest, I don't trust Cashman in trades right now.
I
I just don't.
can't.
And I know that there's a pool of Rule 5 players. There's legit I would say maybe 7 or 8 legit prospects in that Rule 5 pool this year. That's typically where Cashman does most of his trading from initially.
Right.
So there's a few guys on that list that I think he would probably use to try to make one of these moves and try to bring in some guy. Some of the guys that you're talking about here. I mean, Zach Messenger's on that list.
Yes.
Will Warren is on that list. Jack Neely's on that list. Tyler Hardman is on that list. There's a few guys.
Yeah, there are. And, there's some value there that they can get. Jesus Rodriguez is another guy that's on that list. Ben
Mhm,
Cowles,
mhm.
maybe they use some of them. But here's the big question that I've been talking about with everybody. Garrett Crochet, you go get him,
Mhm.
even if that means parking him in the bullpen for the rest of this year and then making him a
But
starter
okay,
for the
if
next
I'm
3 years.
putting him in the bullpen, what's the cost?
Spencer Jones and Augustine Ramirez, let's just be real. For him and Garrett and Michael Kopech, probably.
But the funny thing is that I told you that the Yankees should have went after Kopech before the season started when he was coming off of a pretty shitty season, a down year. I told you the Yankees should. This is the kind of guy the Yankees should go for right now.
Yeah,
But
you did. And I told you they should have gone after Crochet this winter too.
but for me, it's like I don't want to give up Augustine for a bullpen arm for
Right.
a lefty reliever.
Right. I understand that. But next year you would have a rotation headlined by Cole, Heel, Crochet, and Schmidt. And that's as good a 1, 2, 3, 4 as you find in baseball.
Right, but how long has Crochet been a stud of a starting pitcher?
What month is it?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like the cost is what it gets down to. And I'm all in for homegrown Yankees. I'm always going to be all in for them. Um I don't like the cost if it's going to be to put him in the bullpen, and I don't know if he's just having a career year.
Right.
There's no
But
track record, or it's not long
here
enough the track record.
here's my thing. We haven't seen them utilize these kids the way they should be. They just don't. Like with Jorbit Vivas, that kid should have gotten playing time at one of the two infield positions.
Absolutely. And the same
Spencer,
thing with Jack Neely. I think I've had this conversation where I say, if Clay Holmes is going to be a free agent, he's probably going to command top dollar.
mm-hmm,
You guys, if you want Juan Soto is going to command an astronomical figure. You're going to have
mm-hmm,
to start plugging in some of your prospects into some of these places. And Jack Neely for me is a future closer.
hundred percent.
Why wouldn't you give Neely the experience right now just to see if, hey, can he handle this next year?
Same thing with Reiselman. He could be a future closer as well. And why not get a look?
Yeah, they should be getting that experience right now.
Right. So here's the last question, then we'll move into the prospect stuff. Is Spencer Jones the Yankee on August 1st
August 1st of what year?
this year? Not a Yankee, still in the Yankee system.
Oh, in the Yankee system? Yes, I'm gonna say yes.
Is Augustine Ramirez.
Um, I think the issue with Augustine right now is that he's probably the Yankees' best chip. I don't think they're just Jason Dominguez is in the future plans for the Yankees,
Yeah.
and if Cashman is trying to plug a hole right now, he's probably gonna have to give up that chip.
Right.
I don't want to
And
see him go. I don't want to see. I would never advocate for it, but if I have my business cap on, that's probably a move that makes sense.
right. And plus you have Urania.
English Ureña, Ureña.
Yeah. And Eagle and Perez both are playing incredibly well down the FCL. They both look like future stud catchers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's a lot of catching depth in this system. And as Nick has told us many times, they've got more catchers that they plan on signing in future years. You have
Yeah,
a young,
they have a lot of them even in DR. They have Kenny Pineda has looked really good.
he
Jason
has,
Capejan has looked good as well. I think Kenny did Baseball America write about him or they posted something about him. Josh Norris did today. But yeah, I'm looking at Oreña's numbers going into today, he was hitting 315 with 1109 OPS, 19 extra base hits, and this is a guy that didn't even start the season on time. 19 extra
Right.
base hits, 8 home runs. He's got a walk rate of 15% and a strikeout rate of under 12%.
That's unbelievable numbers. And if you look in the advanced metrics even further, his bat speed is some of the best in all of baseball. So that's a very exciting player. He's very similar at the plate to Augustine to me in the power, the good plate discipline, the high walk rate. He's someone that could go from low A to triple A in 600, 700 at bats like Augustine did, to me
Mhm.
at least.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that I think should finish the year off at Tampa. I mean, I think FCL has maybe just another week, I think.
Yeah. But they're going to do that bridge league where they play scrimmages against other teams. So there's going to be more baseball for those kids too.
Mhm.
But that's kind of hush hush. But well, not anymore. I just blew the lid off of it. But anyway, so jumping into AAA, what did we
Mhm.
have in AAA this week?
Not much. I think the only prospect that hit anything in at Scranton was Oswald Peraza. He hit 750 with an 1800 OPS, two extra base hits, two RBIs, two walks, three stolen bases, and that's the only guy to talk about on the offensive side.
Oh,
On the pitching front, you have Will Warren. He pitched a 1.80 ERA, 5 innings, one earned run, two walks, nine Ks. He had a pretty good game. I think he's got over 20 strikeouts in the last two starts. Get only allowed, I want to say, two earned runs. So he's having a good month. I know we've looked at his numbers before. I think he just had a bad, was it May? I think he had a
May.
bad May where he just got blown up. But other than that, he's been solid.
Yeah, he had a 16 ERA and 17 innings. Uh, Brophy told me this morning or this afternoon when we shot the Yankee Farm Report in that month. It
I
was
don't
just,
know what it was, but I know it was ugly. It was ugly.
yeah.
Um, other than that, you had Edgar Barclay. He pitched five shutout innings, allowed two hits, three walks, four Ks, and that sums up Scranton. That's your boy.
Well, AAA's been fun. How about Double A?
Double A, you had Elijah Dunham hit 400. He's coming off of a player of the week and I think a player of the month down in Double A. 800 OPS, one RBI. Then you had Rafael Flores, who for me was the player of the week. He had 400, 855 OPS, two RBIs. He's an interesting prospect. I really like Rafael. He plays catch and first base. He's hit well the entire season. He got promoted to Double A. It's a bit of an adjustment there, but he's hitting pretty well there from what I recall.
Yeah, he is an interesting prospect, but again, they're so loaded behind the plate, and it
He's
looks
been
like
playing a lot of
Ben
first base. He's been playing a lot
has
of first
he?
base. Mhm.
Well, maybe there's an opportunity there because we know there ain't much for first base in the system.
In the last hitter at Somerset, you had Spencer Jones. He hit 250, extra base hit and RBI. He did homer today, by the way. I think he had
Yeah.
two, three hits today in today's game. um, hold on a second, because I was looking at Spencer Jones's July numbers. Um, going into today's game, he was hitting 163 for the month, four
Oh,
extra base hits, two RBIs, a walk rate of 5.7 percent, and a strikeout rate of 47.2%.
hey, Los, buddy,
Yeah.
you want? Is he going to be in the Yankee system on August 1st?
I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say to that.
I don't either.
Um, you know, I really root for Spencer Jones. Like I really wanted him or want him to be a part of this organization. I'm always down for left-handed hitters, especially from center field.
Right.
He has all the tools to succeed. I think. I think he's a
I
five
do
tool
as well.
player. I think he's a five
Absolutely.
tool player. I'm just not sure where the disconnect is or um why that's not translating onto the field. I mean, I should look at his batted balls in play. I haven't looked at what that looks like, but it's been disappointing to say the least.
Yeah, just a bit. I got fooled badly by spring training, and you warned me. I know you warned me. You've
I
been
like I
warning me
said,
about.
I said back in spring training, I was like, that's cool. I like that he's doing all that, but he needs to go do that in Double A, over in the Eastern League. Show me that he can do that there. Um, I don't I again I don't know what else to say. I'm a little confused. Like I said, he has all the skills. He's a five. I think he's a 5 tool player. I just don't know why
Absolutely.
it's not translating on the field.
I don't either.
Maybe it's all the maybe all the tinkering with the swing.
that could be it. He lowered his hands, changed his swing slot. Maybe he just hasn't kicked in. He had
Maybe
that
he should
neck.
go back. Maybe he should drop that whole get the ball more in the air bullshit and go back to what he was doing, at the FCL and at Tampa, where he was just hitting line drives into the gaps. But
Please, please.
again, people wanted him to lift the ball more, and these are the results.
See, and going into him a little bit more, I just have a great deal of fear that he's going to be the next Oswald Praz or Everson or like
I don't think so.
Austin Wells. That
He's not an
you.
IFA, so that wouldn't happen to him.
Oh, okay. I just don't want to see his value drop to the point where they can't get anything for him and he
Mhm.
is no longer an asset. So if there's a deal out there that makes them better, not only this year, but for multiple years in the future, I can see them moving him.
Mhm. Well, we'll
All
see.
right.
Got
What
another half
about
of baseball
pitching?
left. On the pitching front, you have Bailey Dees pitched to a 1.50 ERA. That's 6 innings, 1 run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Tristan Burling, 6 shutout innings, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. Zach Messenger, 5 and 2/3 innings, 2 runs, 3 strikeouts. Danny Watson, an inning and 2/3, 2 strikeouts. Luis Velasquez, 1 and a third inning with 3 strikeouts.
Oh, I'm glad that Watson's getting back to looking pretty good. He was struggling for a while
He
and
was on DIL for a long time. He just came
right.
back, maybe a week or so. But yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't pretty when he was out there. I know he wasn't the same, and I guess there was a little bit of rust to kick. But one thing I did want to point out about Luis Vasquez, I'm really big on Luis Velasquez. I really like him. Looking over his last 9 appearances, his 12 innings, 4 walks, 23 strikeouts, 48% K
Ooh,
rate, 163 average against. I want to say he's back.
that would be a huge addition because he's got some of the best stuff and out of the
Well,
bullpen
yeah,
that.
you pair him and Razelman, it's lights out. And actually, Somerset, I think he's in first place in the division right now in the second half.
Oh, nice. So high A, what happened there?
Hi, you had Christopher Familia hit 500, 1238 OPS, an extra base hit, an RBI. Kiko Romero hit 429, 1,000 OPS, an extra base hit, an RBI, 3 steals. Rock Riggio for me was the player of the week. He hit 417, 1295 OPS, 2 extra base hits, a home run, a walk, and an RBI. Then you had Omar Martinez, 273, 969 OPS, 2 extra base hits, a home run, and an RBI.
Well, there's some, you know, Familia was somebody I really liked coming into the year, and he got hurt,
Mm-hmm.
obviously.
Missed a lot of time. Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if he's not a trade chip because he's Rule 5 this year as well.
It would have surprised me. Um,
Mm.
I mean, we could talk about it a little bit later on, but I think there's going to be promotions, and there's
Yeah,
also going to be some cuts because, you're going to have the roster's going to turn over. You're going to have some
with the
guys coming
draft
up,
kids coming in.
right? And then the guys coming up there should be a few guys from Tampa coming up as well.
Yeah,
So, and like as you just mentioned, he's Rule 5, so it's possible that he is one of those guys that does get traded or thrown into a trade.
I could see that. And what about pitching there?
Pitching front, you have Blaine Abeta, who was sent back down to Hudson. He pitched to a 1.80 ERA. That's 5 innings, 1 earned run, a walk, 2 strikeouts. Kyle Carr threw 5 shutout innings, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. It's one of his best games of the year. Cam
Whoa.
Schlittler, 5 innings, 1 run, 5 strikeouts. He continues to be one of the best pitchers in the system and one of the best pitchers in his league. Trent
Yeah.
Sellers, 3 shutout innings, 3 strikeouts. Cole Ayers, 2 shutout innings, 2 strikeouts.
They still are having good pitching performances at high A. It seems like that is the place where the pitchers seem to break out there and do well.
Yeah, I think Cam and Trent Seller are two of the guys that you know that I think of when when I think about the pitching at Hudson Valley. Two of the guys that have been pitching really well down there.
Yeah. Now at Tampa, Roderick Arias and George Lombard have really turned it around this month.
Yeah, it's a nice progression for both of them.
Yeah.
Roderick in July is hitting 308 with a 439 on base percentage. OPS just under 800, three extra base hits, four RBIs. He has a walk rate of 18 and a half, a strikeout rate of 18 and a half, which is very trending in the right direction, and
Yes, it
seven stolen
is.
bases. George Lombard in July is hitting 267, 343 on base, 827 OPS, seven extra base hits, three home runs, five RBIs, a walk rate of 7.5, strikeout rate of just under 27%. So the power is starting to come in for Lombard now. And he's been playing a lot of third base. I think he's coming off of four straight games where he plays third base.
Uh-huh.
Not sure what that's about, but he's got, I think, I want to say four straight games at third base.
He's filling out and getting a little bigger as he's getting a little bit older. I always thought that he may end up at the corner, and maybe he does long term.
Yeah,
And
I think he's a perfect candidate for third base. And, you know, as I'm watching these games in the second half, the bat is getting a little bit louder with him.
yeah. Anybody else on the offensive side at Tampa?
I think that's pretty much it for now. At Tampa, though, my player of the week was Kobe Morales, who's been playing really well as of late. He hit 455, 1500 OPS, two extra base hits, two home runs, three RBIs. Roderick Arias hit 333, 462, three RBIs, three walks, two steals. Lombard hit 333, 892. I'm sorry, 982 OPS, an extra base hits, two RBIs. Willie Montero, who's hitting well once again. He's hitting 300,
Yeah.
717 OPS, and RBI, two walks, a steal. And Jackson Castillo hit 273, extra base hit, three RBIs.
Pitching?
On the pitching front, Josh Groves threw five and a third shutout innings, three hits, a walk, five strikeouts. He's been pitching really well of late. I looked at his last three games, and Groves is pitching to a 0.57 ERA, 15 two-thirds innings, gave up seven hits, four walks, 17 strikeouts.
So we're seeing some progression from him. That's good at this point in the
Mm-hmm.
season. I know we were both very high on him coming into the year, and it's nice to see that he's looking better.
Yeah, definitely pitching a lot better. Then you had Kate Smith, who was the the pitcher of the week for me down there. Five innings, one run, eight strikeouts, a walk. Chase Hampton had a really good outing, three clean innings, three strikeouts, and Osiel Rodriguez, three innings, one run, three strikeouts.
What are they doing with that kid?
I don't know. I don't think Osiel belongs there. For me, he was probably in the first half of the season, he was their best pitcher, their most consistent pitcher. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know why he's still there. I'm just confused by it.
I don't know. It's like Jared Cerna last year being stuck in Tampa all year. It makes zero sense.
It's like a Lee Mendez situation. I don't know if you remember Lee Mendez, but he was down in Tampa, and then one day, I guess he just got fed up of being stuck. I think in the FCL, or he should have been in Tampa, but he said he just asked for his release, and they gave it to him.
Mm. Let's hope that they start moving O'Seal up because I still think he could be a very good reliever.
Yeah, definitely, man. And regarding the Tampa team, there's a couple guys that I did want to mention that are in the FCL.
Mhm.
Angel Ureña is one of them I already mentioned. He's hitting 315, 429 on base percentage, 19 extra base hits, eight home runs. He should definitely finish the season out in Tampa. And there's a guy that I really like, Juan Matheus. He's a
Yeah,
shortstop. He's hitting 312, 896 on base percentage, 15 extra base hits, five home runs. He's got a walk rate and a strikeout rate of 14% with 10 steals. Brandon Maya is closing out the season pretty well. He's hitting a lot better as of late. He went through like a mini slump there, but right now he's hitting 297, 727 OPS. The power still hasn't come in. But you know, he's still young, 18. I think he just turned 19 this year. Walk rate of 10%, strikeout rate 25%, 16 steals. He leads the team. And then I think Joel Mendez, he's hitting 301 with a 986 OPS, five home runs, 19 extra base hits, walk rate of 17%, strikeout 25%. It's just one of the guys that I feel is just looked over. Last season, he was doing pretty much the same thing, continuously
yeah.
hitting. And then when the draft class in the undrafted free agents came in, they just pushed him to the side.
I would like to see more of him go up, get some more experience at Tampa.
Yeah,
Now,
I would love. I thought he should have got the call to Tampa just to see, you know, if what he was doing down in the FCO was for real.
now you mentioned talking about some promotions, let's talk about that. Who do you think throughout the system should go up when the FCL ends? There'll be a domino effect because kids will have to move up the ladder to get them in.
I can see Anglo moving up. Juan Macias, I want to say, can move up, but then which middle infielder is going to move up at Tampa? Who's deserving of it? I mean, I don't think Roderick is ready for it. I don't think Lombard is yet ready for it. Emmanuel Tejada, I don't think he's officially been put on the IL,
But
but
he's been hurt.
He's been hurt since he I think he jammed his knee, I want to say, running to first base. So I don't know where they would put him. Even Abraham Ramirez, where would they play these guys? But Ramirez has played a little bit of outfield.
Yeah. I think that
and on the pitching front,
go ahead.
No, I was saying on the pitching front, it's probably Xavier Marte. Is definitely a guy who should move up. Maybe even Chris Keene out of the bullpen. Those are two guys that come to mind. Hopefully, Lalane gets a shot, maybe a couple innings in Tampa.
That would be nice. What Legrand maybe too.
Funny, I find that Lalane is getting a little bit more runway than Lagrange's. I don't know why that is. I think in Lagrange's last outing, he threw just one inning. And Lalane went 3 innings in his last outing.
Do you think they're going to move him to a bullpen role?
Not necessarily. I don't. I know I know there was a bit of traffic on the base path, so maybe they're capping him at like 10, 12 batters. That might be it. And Lalane's moving through his 10, 12 batters a lot faster.
Gotcha. So what else do you have coming this week?
Well, just continue to work as much as I can. I don't know what else we have. We have the episode that you guys filmed that'll be dropping probably tomorrow, I think.
Yeah. John Brophy and I, Bobby Malone and Nick kind of preview the first half of what else went on in the farm system, talk a little bit about the guys that we drafted, who we signed, and kind of talk a little trade. It was worth a listen. If you guys could check that out, that would be awesome. And we will be back next week, hopefully. Los, take us out of here, bro.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, guys. Have a great one.
Later. Promise, but I do my best. 25 sitting on 25 racks. Just got started, no, we ain't done yet. Bought a new crib, that's a goddamn flex. Sign that check. Told them last year that I been up next. Can't take calls, but I send that text. From way downtown, but it's